Mic on.
I was muted. Duh. Where is yours? Let's pull everything up.
What's up, design friends? I'm excited to tell you about a new event coming up from Adobe. Right.
Okay. Let's get loaded up. No, I don't want that open. Okay, so let's do. Let me load into the other level. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually just gonna move this into the content folder. Here. Oh, it's true. No, forget it then. Oh, I gotta change the other one. What do you mean? We have to reopen it. No, don't say that. Let's reopen that. So I can't rename that. I'm just gonna let's just change this hotel lobby. Oh, I forgot what's going on. Hotel lobby. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. Oh brother. What is this? I don't know what that is. God, please tell me it doesn't break. Okay. Everybody else moving? Nice. Yo! What's up, Mitch? Good morning, afternoon, whatever the hell applies to you. I heard he got a little bit of a rage quit the other day on I don't know if it was on your last stream or maybe you guys were just playing offline. I heard he got a little a little toxic. I think it's something to do with snipers. Thought it was maybe. Did I already organize this? I did. Good. Okay. I can't move the group actors, dude. All right, I'm not listening to this shit, man. I'm not gonna listen to fucking ads all the time. So go away. Let's see. Sure. There's no ad breaks, right? Good. Okay. So it was true. And look, speaking of the devil, look what it is. Brandon, appreciate texting the group chat. I did send a text. Oh, are you not? I forget that you guys are in the Booty Boy guest chat. I keep on sending it in the gamers one. So look, I'll send it right now just in case. Where is it? Oh, there it is. There we go. Sorry about that. I forgot there's like 17,000 different group chats. All right. So, where... Oh, I didn't answer your question. I'm doing well, man. Not too bad. Just getting started, really. Sorry if there's a little bit of background noise. I'm doing laundry today. So, Might hear some like rattling every now and then, or the wah sound. Hey, Bear, what's going on, buddy? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Mitch said, did you fix the connection issue that wasn't firing off? Oh, buddy. If you only knew, man. So yes, the reason why it wasn't working, at first I thought it was the AI, which is understandable because I don't really do much AI, so I might have missed something. And that's the thing with programming, there's could be one thing you don't turn on from like a yes to a no, or no to a yes, or whatever, and it breaks. So I went back, redid everything, still couldn't replicate it. But for whatever reason, I actually made, or he's still here, yeah. So I made a test one in here, and he works just fine, right? And I was like, okay, that's weird. So after doing about like 6-ish hours of researching, it turns out, what you might notice is lovely folder here. This is broken POS. If you don't know, POS stands for piece of shit. The base default map that spawns into the game when you start any project, it's known to be broken with AI specifically. So basically, I had to go and just basically dragging all the assets here and get them to work. I just put them up here so I could see an overall view and see that they're working now. But it was roughly like probably like 5 to 6 hours of me just trying to figure out what the hell was going on, and it turned out to be just the map the whole time. It had nothing to do with the code itself. It was a map. So you know, that was not cool. Not cool at all. That was frustrating. First time in chat. What's going on, Facts? We're doing well. How far are you into making the game? Honestly, probably not too far. So all we have right now, not all, but there's some stuff. It's basically 2 maps. We have the penthouse, which is starting one, the lobby, which is like the second area. We have a very like baseline AI in a sense. Right now, all the AI does, I'm just gonna show like the aerial view. Is go to a patrol point, which are the green things. Stay there for X amount of seconds, and then basically move on to whichever is the next point in the queue. And then obviously when we get seen, we get caught. Nothing happens right now. I'm trying to see if it would be better to just trying to get animations, really. And the animations just make it look a little nicer. But they don't do anything. They basically just chase you until you break the line of sight. Also added in just like some crouching, just so we could hide effectively. And then yesterday I added, and if you know me, you know this is my little slogan, or like my catchphrase, I guess. I added in a way to like do that, our power, the speaketh is what we call it. So basically you throw your voice somewhere and then they'll distract, like they'll go and investigate it. So that basically looks like this, and if you listen carefully when it lands.
Why?
My catchphrase, baby. So basically go there, and now obviously with adding that, it did. Why is there another ad? Brother. So basically go investigate. What did break the AI, unfortunately, is with doing that, you see one, they're still exploring it. So like it's, as it's rolling, I guess it's still going off, which is surprising because there's a do once node, so I don't know why it's doing it. But basically you just do that many times, and the rock is just a placement thing, just so I could have a mesh. But I know, right? Great. Jesus Christ, bro. Specifically pick like a long, like a 4-hour thing, hoping there's no ads, but there still is. So I'm just gonna have to go one of the live sessions, I guess. Actually, no, I usually do this one. This is my default one, but just, you know, just plays kind of the same music, so I like to change it up. But I'm just gonna play that if I could find it. Yeah, I think it should be fun. Okay. Get a blocker for, you know, I was considering that, but I don't know. I really don't even use YouTube that much besides for background music. And obviously, I mean, I watch my things, but at that point, I don't really mind watching like one ad or two in the beginning, and it just leaves me alone. So okay, where were we gonna go next? All right, actually, So this level is, again, technically not fully done yet, but like we could go through it. What I was saying with the bug now with obviously throwing the sound, they go and explore it, but then they don't go back to their patrol path. Well, actually, no, let me do this. Because I had this one, where is it? I had this guy set, because I was just testing it. I had his first patrol point like 10 seconds. Yeah. So let's just make it 3 instead. And I'll just make this one 4, whatever. Save that. It helps for a lot more than just YouTube. It takes off the ads on random websites. Those pop up. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I add that to a list of things I need to do anyways. Might as well add it on my stream notes, because then I could remember to actually do it. Where am I? Oh, here you go. Let me move this. I don't know why I have that there. So what we're missing is the collectibles. So collectibles. We're gonna need meshes for the collectibles. There's actually a lot that we need. Lose game / screen. We still need a what do you call this? Which is probably gonna be over here. I just haven't built it out yet or decided what we're gonna do. So something here to show, to give them the option, right? You know, probably once they get over here, they can either make a decision to go to the courtyard, or they could go to the garage, basement, lower level, just depending, right? You know, either way is gonna be like a similar result. Like if they go to the courtyard, maybe the they could just like hack into a door, right? Like they just break into it. If they go to the basement, they'll have their keys. Just gotta find the car in a sense. Sorry, I don't know why this is. Something popped up for me. Oh, that was weird. Okay. What's up, Mark? What's going on, buddy? Buenos tardes, or morning, I guess, depends if you just woke up. Let me move this back down. So that bug of the AI, I don't have the attention span to fix it on stream. As you guys probably saw the last one where I was trying to fix, which wasn't even the AI, it was actually just the level itself. Like the default level, let me say that instead. So just gonna leave that as is, and I'll fix it afterwards. One thing I would like to say is what I'm probably gonna do moving forward, like once we get at least like this decently done in a sense, is I'm probably gonna most likely just focus on more of the like the level design stuff. Let me get some coffee first. So that means is I'll basically use like a template project in a sense, and I say that as in it could be like a like pre-created mechanic included like shooter, right? Let's say, and then what I end up doing is I'll just create a shooter map. So like if I want to create a Call of Duty knockoff, whatever in a sense, I would create that level, right? And all the interactions done between would not necessarily something that would be done unless they're like smaller things. But realistically, I would want to just focus mainly on what like a level designer does, which is obviously my role, which is creating the interactions, creating the experience in a sense. Because for this one, don't get me wrong, it is fun. It's entertaining. I'm having a good time doing it, but I realized yesterday that my role isn't like doing the AI. It's not like building up all the mechanics and stuff. It helps to do it, and you know I know how to do it to an extent, but it's more I had to focus more on what the role is, which my role is, you know, building this out, right? Building out the level, doing the documentation for the most part. Depends on some companies; they all have their own different way of approaching the position. But usually, I do maps, I do the layouts of the maps, and then basically either someone else comes in and does the pretty artsy stuff. I could technically do that too, which I probably will do that because that's something I do like to do. And again, it's still part of my role in the end. All right, so where we leave off. All right, right now we can see. Oh well, it's because of the turning. I don't want them turning that way. Make sure that yeah, that's fine. Okay, these may be. I don't know if he'll see me. No, he doesn't see me. Okay, he's gonna wait. Right, so this is kind of like the layout we're doing, right? Something like this. I do want to see. Oh, actually, no. Let me not do with him. Again, we're still missing a little cutout here of like what would be like the chairs in a sense. Oh, look, he just saw me, I think. But I broke the line of sight. Yeah, it's like that because the so there's the peripheral on these guys is super high. So what that means is, let's pull up. I don't know if it's gonna be here or it might be. No, it's gonna be in the controller, which is there. Controller. All right. So that would be the perception, and it means that the sense. Oh, it is at 50. I'm gonna lower it and put it like at 40. It's just like the cone of when they're looking and walking around. You know, like a 90-degree won't be like a full 90 degrees from the side of your head out and then forward, so like that, which is ridiculous. I mean, I guess that's we're doing supreme realism, yeah, sure. But realistically, what you want to have is just like an angle from here out, right? And then the range. So loose light radius. I don't remember if I'm calling. Let me check the behavior tree. This is. It's not this one. Chase. I don't know if I have a distance called here. No, it's not it. That's not it either. Yes, I think it is. It's just being called in here. Okay. So that means 3,000 seems pretty big. Let's do 1,500. And we'll test that out. When I change the peripheral, I'm going to change that. Bring it back. We're going to have to worry about that. Okay, starts enable max age. Yeah, that should be fine. Is there any other sense that need to change? Touch, no. Prediction, I think it should also be fine. Yep. Okay, and then the dominant sense should be. I mean, I feel like Saito is going to be the dominant sense. It just basically means which one is it going to prioritize. If it's walking, if it sees you but hears something to the right at the same time, like you throw something, which one is it going to like prioritize over the other? Which sight in that case would make more sense. I'm not going to put a dominant sense. I don't think it's really necessary. So let's just leave that like that. Yo, what's up, Papas Frita? Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Good afternoon, good morning, again, whatever applies to you. So we kind of get the gist. I'm just going to ignore, obviously, the, oh my god, I don't like that I'm not holding. There we go. So we're kind of just getting the vibe of how it's supposed to feel, right? You turn around, again, this is pretty much how, like, the first steps of making the game go. Everything's really rough around the edges. Nothing's really concrete, right? It's kind of a mess. I know he saw me, that's fine. It's because none of this, there's nothing there for him to block my view. We're basically going to be going here as he's patrolling. Alright, let me know. And go in here. Oh god, it's like the start of iRobot or some shit. Gonna go here. We're gonna get something. I can't jump, stupid. Idiot. Did you hit the gym yesterday with El Fofo? Was that yesterday? Yeah, we went yesterday. We did. What did we do? Shoulders and bicep. Are they still chasing me? Oh, where'd they go? Oh, it's right, because I technically broke the line of sight too fast by jumping over something. So, yeah. Alright, get away from me, dude. So we're supposed to go over here, hide somewhere in here like this as they're walking by. Then we're going to go this way. I'm going to go in here. Again, they're going to chase me. It's fine. Doesn't matter. I'm going to probably put something here, right? Like another collectible in a sense. I wonder if I can jump through this window. No, I can't. Damn, dude. Alright, whatever. You get the gist of this. We go from here, and at that point, we're going to basically, again, give them the option, right? Either put something over here for the courtyard, and then, the courtyard, the lower level garage, or leave in the lobby, or out of the lobby. But what we're actually going to focus on now is, where is it? Yeah, little bro, Italian maps. Let's go to back to the penthouse. I changed something in the patrol points. Patrol point 1. Oh, that's right. I just added the time. Alright, yeah, that's fine. Let's go back to maps. Yeah, we can save that. Oh, actually, so we need keys. Well, actually, I guess that'll be collectible / keys. And basically, all I'm doing here is just messy, but I just have a section. Just let me do this first. What's happening? Yeah. Don't need this anymore. By the way, posted the first YouTube video. It's not like the live stream yesterday. If you guys want to check that out, a short little 10-minute video just going over the GDD. I should have the LDD one posted by sometime today, later today. Just gotta edit it basically. Alright, so enemy AI, crouch. This is not really done, but it's almost there. Detection stealth, we do have stealth ready, just hiding outside of the line of sight, but we don't have the like the actual end sequence of chasing, right? And when they chase somebody, they want to attack them or lose the game or whatever. Crouch, we got this already, which is good. How do I do a strike through again? Hold on. Format. There's a hotkey for it. I don't remember. Whatever. Let's just say this is done. And I'm just gonna highlight it. Jello. Okay. Oh, I wrote that twice. Don't have that. Don't have this. This is gonna be like random static meshes we're gonna make. This is also super simple. I'm just not gonna be doing that right now. Did I do? Oh, is that what I did? I think maybe I just copy and pasted accidentally. There we go. Okay. We need doors. So doors / elevators, so that the keys could work on something. Trying to think of like the flow of things. We will need some sort of cutscene eventually. Cutscene, or it could be like so you might obviously have played games. Well, obviously everybody's played games, but you've played a game most likely that has like a loading screen. Like whether it's like a Skyrim type or maybe like just some like cutscene in between, basically. So the reason why a lot of games do that, and especially like bigger games like Skyrim as an example, is because every time you have the loading screen up, it's processing the world in a sense. So your loading screen, all it's doing is rendering out what that area is going to be, whether that's going into a dungeon, or you may be going to like leaving a dungeon, or you're going to a town. If you see that loading screen, you know, it usually has like a little mannequin or a figure. That usually means that it's just buffering the entire world in a sense, or what's visible at least. What up, yo mama? Hope you're doing well, buddy. Brush your teeth. Now that's rude. It's kind of true though. You should brush your teeth. Okay. So cutscene / like loading screen. So like what we're gonna do now. Let me just move this out of the way. I don't need this either. So what this area is supposed to be, because what we want to do, and there's a thing called, let me see if I have it pulled perfect. So I can't really show you right now without creating a new level, so I'm actually gonna do that now. Is it file? Here you go. File, level, and then we'll do, I'll just do open world, because normally we do the empty one, but we could just do that. Alright, so first I need to save this. Save current level as, and then we'll go to starter content, maps. No, not starter content. It is prototyping, maps, and then we'll name it here, map underscore. We just do world. It's fine. Let's give it a second to load. Alright, so that's right, my camera. You can just change your camera speed up here. So like this is like meow. Fast as fuck boy, fast as fuck boy. Alright, so what I wanted to just mention now, and this is what we're gonna be doing for like the actual world in a sense, is making it an open world. And now with Unreal Engine 5, it has a new version. So like before in Unreal Engine 4, it was called level streaming, and now also go into like the world composition. So level stream before is just like, imagine you're like your game, like a map, or any game really. Say like the map of Skyrim. I like using Skyrim because everybody knows it, and it's obviously a huge game. I can't wait to be 37 and playing the new Skyrim. Maybe my kids will play. We'll see. Just imagine that giant world as a grid, right? And I use this as an example because this is what the new version of it is. But it's basically split up into a grid. Now, whenever, I don't know if you've ever been playing a game, sometimes, actually I think GTA does this. 37 minutes, still second. Stop. So it is like GTA. If you've ever been like just let's say right around like driving super fast on a car, right? You see things in the distance like randomly appear, or whether they fade in or just pop in. But that's what level streaming is. So it basically just tells you at what distance from where player is at is X gonna appear. It's usually based off of units, and you can basically just do that like per all these cubes here. So you would basically just I gotta select them. If I were to select all of these, and I believe it's it's already unloaded. All right, cool. Never mind. So basically, all these cubes that you have here, or grids, is what it is. You could edit it so that, let's say, if I'm over here, right? You see my little icon there. So I'm on this cube. If I wanted, for some whatever reason, this one over here to show when I'm in this one, that's how you'd calculate it. So in a sense, you'd be like, all right, from this or from any grid or segment that I'm in, I want you to show at least let's use an example, like a 3,000 unit view. It's not really going to be 3,000, but that would basically mean like, all right, 3,000 would be 3,000 away from here. So you'd have this 3,000, you have this 3,000, this one, everything basically here would be within that view, but everything else would be blocked out. Some people like to add fog, so it adds like a little more like realism to it. But what we're probably going to end up doing is in different areas of the map. So like when we're, for example, if we go back to the penthouse, for example, oh Jesus Christ, oh brother, that was the speed of the camera. There we go. So when we're here, we want to be able to, I'm just going to delete this guy as well, so he doesn't chase me. So we want it to be that we load in, not to put in the glass doors and the roof and all that stuff. We want the whole world to be loaded here, because what we want to happen is, look out here and see everything you want. Like, we got to keep in mind all the perspective stuff, because we don't want it to be, all right, this is the only thing, and we're just technically floating, and they happen to turn the camera and boom, right? They don't see anything. But we want this whole view to be a building in a sense, like the city that we could view. And then once we, let's say, do whatever our stuff is here, and we're gonna go, and once we go in the elevator, bing, bing, ding, 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 and once we go down, it basically unloads this, and then it would actually unload the world as well, and then it'll basically just load us into, yes, and then it'll just basically load us into here, and then we'll probably still pop up certain parts here, because like we want them to, if there's like a window here, or like they're peeking outside, we don't want them to see this, right? Like just blankness in a sense. Now to do that is the kind of tricky part, because normally in this case I would have just created a map or started a map so I could plan out how the world's gonna look, but realistically, like, it's gonna be kind of tough to do that, and especially with like this type of game, we're really not gonna like go full hands-on in it. We're pretty much just creating like some sort of like give an idea, right? So that we know that the next time we do stuff, we have mechanics. All we can focus on at that point is the world, and then the gameplay. Make sure it's engaging, keep the players stimulated, stuff like that. So what we're actually gonna do is I'm gonna go back to the penthouse. Just gonna delete some unnecessary stuff. Like I don't need a decal actor anymore. I might just hide that one because I may revisit it. Group actor is fine. We'll keep all these. We don't need a nav mission anymore. Player start, yes. We need to keep that as a default. We need to keep actually all of these as a default. So I can add. There is a way to load in like whole levels into other ones. I think it's a little more tedious than, to be completely honest, just copy and pasting everything here and then just dragging it into our world map in a sense. So, no, that's right. I'm just gonna get everything here in. Well, let me. No, it's not gonna let me. So let's get everything here. Let's copy that. Make sure it's copied. Sure. And then we'll go here. And we're gonna paste that here. Now, oh, stupid speed of the camera. So we'll see. Obviously, there's E-fighting because it's on the ground. There we go. I don't know. I'm missing a player start, so let me go. Actually, I could just. I'll go back. Let's go penthouse. Sure. So we got all that. The group actors already came with it, and that already has a partition, and it has all the lighting we need. So we'll go back to the world. Actually. Because I would like to add in a day-night cycle as well. So just program it like within X time. It's gonna go sun like high up in the not high up in the sky, but like kind of dawn, duskish here to nighttime, and then nighttime is where like Cyberpunk cities really look nice. So where did I paste that? Oh, that's right. There we go. So now, alright, this speed is too fast. This world is definitely too big. As of right now, alright, so I think the bed was like here, right somewhere in the middle of the room. So now if we add it, and we just go walk out, so you kind of see the gist of what we're trying to aim for. We want them to look out, instead of seeing the mountains and stuff, you see the city. Now how high up we are, that is a good question. What I'm going to do, because we do want to have certain point of entrance, right? Or what we call is like the dominance, and that means I'm just gonna press F. There we go. Dominance are like the highlight of the scene, right? So we want them to look out that area and be like, holy crap, look at that building, holy crap, look at that one, right? Like something that really stands out. I don't know how big I need to make this. Where are we? Let's just make it like really exaggerated. Let me move this menu. Oh my god. I'm just gonna keep it at 6. I think 6 is a sweet spot. There we go. So that's probably too big. So let's see, right? Yeah, that's definitely too big. So it's basically just getting the right balance. Like, we're trying to keep it realistic like a building, right? So we imagine, right, a window, it would probably take up like one full cube, right? So one full cube, and this like width this is way too big as well. So let's bring that in. Now, ideally, like all this. Okay, let's get that. Oh, we're still in brush everything. I would like, just for the initial one, the initial spawn in. Ah, shit. I had selected. I want this to face the sun. Or in that case, once it happens, it's going to be the moon, right? I feel like that'd be a nice little view, which means that this will probably be somewhere like over here. Maybe a little more back. Maybe something like that. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, something like that. That'd be like the CRAP building. Hey, what's going on, Hogger? How you doing, man? I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Every time you join, man, I feel like I'm butchering it. So something like that. Honestly, probably gonna be a little bigger, but I'm not gonna worry about that too much. Another thing. All right, so we have all this. Hoger. Why does it sound so weird saying it like that? Ah, there it is. Reason. No, man. There you go. Sweet. Okay, perfect. Yeah, for some reason, Brandon flagged. Well, I know why, but it flagged your. You said hope. That's funny. All right, let's see. So what I would probably like to do as a placeholder, I need research on it, obviously, but is more like a dynamic, or like not dynamic, a procedural city. So basically what procedural means is it's auto-generated, right? So a good example of that right now is like when you play Diablo 4, if you're already playing or plan to, you go to a dungeon. You know, maybe you're farming a specific dungeon. You might notice that sometimes you go in, or most of the time, it changes, right? Whether it's direction or it may change items or enemies. That's what basically procedural or dynamic means, that it changes on the fly, for instance. Obviously, we would keep ours kind of fixed, but like it would just procedurally generate a city, and you basically just change what's called like the seeds. What seeds means in that case is the variation, right? So let me show you what I'm talking about. So if we have, all right, let's say this is the world. I've been using paint a lot more than I expected here. All right, so we have that, and let's say this is our big building. We want to keep that the same, but then we want to have let's say buildings, trees, whatever. So you'll basically seed changes. Let's say whatever, these are just gonna be blobs, but let's say this was the first seed of the city. Now we run it again. It's literally just change it from like seed 1 to 2 or 1 to 47, whatever the case is. But now let's say we change it to 47, and now we'll have, you know, something like this. Like it'll just change its output basically. But obviously you want to keep one, so basically just change the seeds, and then once we do that, we just keep that seed in a sense. Something that gives us a nice look. Let's get rid of that. I'm not going to do that right now, though. We want to just kind of set up somewhat a review, and we could do that simply with, the thing is here, like I want it, so let me show you. So I like it to be like when you step in this view, that's the first thing you see, right? That's like a main thing about having dominance. So it's something that catches the eye almost instantly, and it's pretty much the only thing you look at. And funny enough, dominance are a good way to easily just distract a player from maybe things that we don't want them to see. And that is an example of like maybe some bugs or some sort of flickering that maybe can be fixed ahead of time before we publish the game. You basically could just put something like a flashing light or a shooting star or a falling star basically, and then that distract him from over to the left. I don't know, there's a naked guy on the roof, something like that, you know. Alright, so we have that. We want to see that. We're like, holy crap, look at the size of that building. And they don't have the big CRAP outside of it, and then we'll have like smaller ones around it. So let's, what I could potentially do, I know there's a way. Maybe cinematic. Yeah, cinematic viewport is just like a camera that renders higher, renders nicer. Let me say that instead. I know there's a way. Hold on. Let me just switch down here. Default viewport. There was a way to switch, like to fix the view, because I want to do, I just want to fix it like in here, like something like that. But I guess it's alright. You can just not even worry about that right now. And kind of to show what we're going for. So let's look up Cyberpunk city. So this is the exaggerated example. This one is a city. See how like cluttered and like congested it is. Probably not that's too much, but something more like this, right? There you go. So like we have smaller, like still pretty big buildings, but we have giant skyscrapers. Still kind of like openish towns in some areas, but it might be pretty congested. Look at the size of these, but that's kind of like the look we're gonna have for the CRAP building. Like something with like bright, like it's all gonna have neon, but something that has more lights so it shows and it pops and stands out compared to everything else. This is also a good example, just kind of on a lower perspective. This is also pretty good. Just we're really gonna have a lot more. We're gonna train as well. Maybe that'd be nice to have. So let's have. All right. So now I'm just gonna do this, and we're basically just gonna play around with this a little bit, something like that. Hey, you know, actually, it's not bad at all. Adds variance too. We can create a couple different types of buildings, and again, very rough. I'm not really worried about the specs on it. I'm trying to click this. Hello. That. No. There we go. No, let's do something like this. And we can even get this face. We'll scale it inwards. There we go. Cool. And then let's just get some like basic, like just blocky, what do you call this? Buildings. When I say blocky, I mean just like, this is just foreground, like just to filler in a sense. So we just like break this, break that down, like something like this. And then we will want to scale it back out a little bit. There we go. That's cool. All right, we're gonna have different versions of this. You know, actually, what I like to do. Let me click this. I'm gonna extrude it. By the way, these settings are like the built-in modeler in a sense. The daily bludger. Morning or afternoon. Sorry. You working today? I don't know if you'll be on. Also, I don't know if he's here. Let's see. Hold on. Is he here? Is he here? I don't think he's here. All right. So let's. Why can't I? There you go. So I'm gonna do. So yeah, normal edit, which is what I've been doing this whole time, just moving around the edges, the faces, and everything. We're also gonna have the extrude option, which extrude just means that it goes. Mom's calling me. No. So extrude basically just pulls out from that. Nothing like a good stream while you eat lunch. Hi, nice, appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in, my lady. So extrude just basically just pulls out whatever we're doing in a sense. Normally you do it on faces. You don't really do it on edges unless you're trying to create a new side of that face. But like you'll see, right? So here's the difference. You have the edit, which just edits it, like just pushes it up or down, scales it, whatever. And you have extrude, which makes it its own, like a new square or new shape in a sense. So now, like you saw how for this one, I made that one face like come in or whatever. Now if I go to this one, do the same thing. No, not that one. Like this. But now instead, I have like that more like, it's called a bevel shape. So here's like just a flat, like sharp cutoff, but over here has kind of that like nice, like rough trend or smooth transition. And then we could also, if we wanted to, we could get this pen, and I believe create brush shape. Oh no, we don't want to do that. So we would click here. What am I clicking? That. So normally what's a good thing with this is if we use that other tool, so like if we go to the modeling tab, right, there's a bunch of options here. If we went to the modeling tab, this poly extension option gives us the flexibility to create whatever we wanted to. So let's go, right, and then just extrude it up. It's a real fast way to block out stuff, just to paint an idea. But another thing you could do here with these tools is, let me see, hold on. There's a section. It's supposed to be subdivide, which subdivide means, or you add an edge loop. Actually, maybe that does. No, is it? Go shift 7 again. Nope, not shift 7. Let's go to modeling. Could have swore there was one. Is that what it is? No, that's not what I want to do. No. Oh, I mean, that's another way. It just creates more shapes. Right, let me see. All right, give me 1 second, guys. I don't know.
Mic off. Mic on.
Sorry about that. All right. Got to turn on the fan. If the fan gives too much feedback, just let me know. Just gets a little toasty here when I'm doing laundry. So there is a way. Man, I could have swore it was just. No. Oh, subdivide. There we go. That's one of them. Oh, okay. No, not like that. Not like that. So subdivide basically just smooths out a shape. I was thinking about it something else. Edit mesh for your triangles. No. Cut mesh. Is it maybe this one? I don't think it's this one. No, it's not this one. I got to warp, smooth, vertex sculpting. No. Dynamic mesh sculpting, offset. No. Pivot act, not split. Weld, merge. No. I gotta look that up. So there's basically a way that we can add what's called an edge loop. An edge loop basically it just adds in a full cut, like a. So basically this would go from like this and split in half, and then it'll be technically two separate objects. I'm not gonna use this anymore, but basically I just wanted to go ahead and just add that so I could create an edge loop within this face. Which we could just technically really do is we go to extrude. We're gonna bring this up just slightly. There we go. And go back to edit. Get this. Then we're not selected. Oh, hold on. Let's get the pivot. Let's center on selection. There we go. And then we'll scale it in just a little bit. No, take it easy. Nope. Something like that. Bring it a little bit. And then what we do here is we could, so we're gonna, how would it look if I just pull it up? No, okay. So what I want to do is extrude this up, and then we can just keep on, kind of like do the same thing again. So bring it in one. I may have my scale too high, that's why. Oh no, extrude. Oh no, wait, because I didn't extrude it again. Let's extrude it again. Just, come on, slightly up. Back to here. Another boop, and then boop, and then this one we just extrude up again. Yeah. Just so we know that's the like the main building. Obviously, that's not how it's gonna look. It's like kind of like a marker, to be honest. Like almost an exact replica with a giant marker. Whatever, it's fine. Let me get some coffee. Okay, so we have a couple different building variations. Again, scale here is going to make things look really big because that's what the point of the city is. Let's go and add in. I'm just going to duplicate another one here. Let's look at this one. This is like interesting looking. And then now let's go shift here. Let's go on the edge. We'll bring that back up. Have just another like standard big building, and then we'll have, I feel like it'd be pretty cool to have I don't know if you guys have been to Vegas recently. So right now we're just adding in additive. Where are the sides? You guys have been to Vegas recently. They have like that giant, I don't know if it's actually fully done yet or not, but it's like a giant new like auditorium or like a stadium that they're gonna do, where it's like screens all around it. It's kind of like cool looking. It's like a perfect sphere. I figured something like that would be kind of interesting to have here. We're probably gonna need to make it a little bigger. Just make it even 2000. And then let me see how it looks from the bottom. Yeah, so we could probably bring it into like right where that first edge is. Hide that. The eyeball, yeah, it's like, it's so trippy how it is. It's like a perfect sphere. And I remember I think they were testing it or maybe turned it on at night. And yeah, it's literally just a giant ball and screens basically all inside of it in a sense. So like when you're in the auditorium, or I don't want to say auditorium, in the stadium. It's not even a stadium either. Amphitheater. That's the word. When you're in the amphitheater, you could see pretty much no matter where you're sitting, it's like all around you. I feel like that's like easy for someone to have a seizure or something, but I guess you shouldn't be going to concerts if you have that. Okay, so
let's do a couple just like real, like not real small, but small ones. Now, technically speaking, we should. Oh, let me not do that. Let me edit the actual mesh. I don't think I need this edge here. Can I just dissolve it? Nope. Let's do this. No. I haven't used these tools in a little bit. Yeah, because it's like creating this like this line across it. You guys see that? Normally it doesn't really matter, and honestly it doesn't. I'm kind of just focusing on it because I'm focusing on it. But when we start bringing in textures, kind of like I mentioned before, it's similar to what's called UV unwrapping, UV wrapping, whatever. So basically, you want to make sure all the sides of your shape are like this, right? It's like perfectly smooth cube. It's fine if it cuts off. Ideally, if you could get it lined up, that'd be great. But realistically, like, this is what you like. But then you have the other side where it's all warped. So basically, like, it's gonna look like, instead of it being one, like, perfectly aligned, let's say, a picture or something, it's gonna be a picture here with this, like, another slash and then a duplicate of the picture here. So it just looks weird. Again, not too worried about it because it's just like replacement or placeholders right now. I just figured if I could try and fix it, but I'm not gonna do that right now. So let's just. It's gonna be kind of a pain in the ass to edit, so I'm actually just gonna bring in a new cube. There we go. And this one will just be, we'll make a couple small ones. The reason why I'm doing different variations is because if I could do it on stream, great. I'll probably try and tackle it. Dude, like, I just want the face. Thank you. That's fine. I want to have different variations because if we do the procedural route, this is basically what's going to ask for. Oh man, you guys heard that? Freaking whistle. And the more mesh options that we have, the more variety it's going to give us. So basically calculate, it'll do the math within like a certain range, and we'll have like a grid for it, right? So a volume. The term for a volume is just imagine like, all right, so you see this cube, how it's obviously has sides and has faces. The volume is just empty, so it wouldn't have any of this. It'd just be like this area would be a container. It's kind of similar to how if you guys remember when I added the nav mesh before. So basically the procedural generation would go, all right, within this volume, let's just say like it's this big, this high, or this width, and then so it's basically going to calculate a map or a zone with these meshes within this volume in a sense. Alright, so let's get this a little, let's get this a little higher up, something like that. Simple little cube block, and then let's do another one. But this one will be probably like a little longer, so it'll be more like make it a little bigger too. So a little bigger, and then more narrow. You know, and it's kind of like just going for a go off to that. Actually, no. Let's do the face instead. I'll scale that just slightly in. There. Oh, it's kind of similar to that one. Let's just leave it as it is. That should be good enough, though. Have enough skyscrapers. We're not enough, but have some placeholders. There's only gonna be one of these, which I think will be pretty cool to have. So it'll be. At this point, it's kind of like free range. Typically, in like an actual setting, you would have. Let's turn that like facing towards here. You would have either a team, yourself, or whoever actually build a map first, where you have a concept artist kind of concept something for you. Excuse me. So it'll kind of give you the tools to then start hashing this out. And obviously you add in your own like artistic flair or whatever to it, but usually you have somebody who will build this out for you. But in this case, just me, and I'm trying to just really show you guys like how to fill up this world. and how it kind of looks. It'll be looking something like this. And you believe it or not, you could actually have, like, if we wanted to have 3 buildings like this back to back, right? If we leave like that, it's not like, it doesn't look nice. But if we do a simple rotation on one of them, just annoying. There we go. Simple rotation on one of them, we can even still have it centered. Do something like that. It already adds variance. And the same thing here, we could just go ahead and push this a little forward. And then this one, we can bring it in closer, but maybe it's pushed a little more back instead. So it looks different, but it's not at the same time, right? Like, I mean, it looks the same, but it's not at the same time. So something like that. We get this here. Just move over here like that. Turn this around. I hate the fact that the stupid gizmo isn't centered on this. Just gotta keep on. I don't want to keep on centering it. So we're just gonna put this maybe like right here, something like this. And then if we want, because we have some variety here, let's just duplicate this, and then we could actually just rotate it 90. And then we could have another side, right? Now this side could be something like this. I just need to change it up a little bit, like bring this one a little forward. Bring this one a little more back. We'll drag in a copy of this one. Let's rotate it. Bring that forward. This. I just remembered what I was going to add before. Neon text. Should probably just create a neon material instance. There we go. So I can remember. Like that. And then now, okay, this is going to be the main focus of this. But you do still have to fill in some stuff for it. And kind of what I mentioned, probably in the first stream. So you have your dominants, right? Your dominants are going to be the main eye catchers of any level, scene, interaction, whatever. So things that help us kind of point in the right direction or focus on the dominant or dominance is guiding lines. So guiding lines is pretty simple. It basically just means something that's guides the player's eye to whatever you're trying to show. In our case, we could have buildings, right? So we could have this building right here. Probably make it a little smaller. Just a little bit smaller, not too much. Like that. So it's all right, hey, look, the angle of this is pointing towards the building. And if we wanted to, we could move this out. Actually, move this. Actually, I'm gonna move these two away and this too, because I do want this to be in the view. Move that in, and then we will turn this. Oh my god, the stupid gizmo. Turn this so it's here. So I need to push away this. Let's push this out a little bit. Bring this in just slightly. And then we'll get these two. Let's put them here. And then, so these are just the copies of everything. I'm just gonna move them over. I'm trying to see where we could put, because I don't want it to overshadow this, the building, right? And I'm also going to just twist it a little bit, a little more, something like this. More. There we go. So that when we see that CRAP on the side, it's really popping out like this. I'll play along with that a little bit more. All right, and then what I might actually do is maybe put this. Let's move this back. Move this a little back. Not too much though. Then we'll get this. Something like that. And also, we got to keep in mind as well, because this is a city, so we will have roads We're just kind of trying to show somewhat of a base city in a sense, so that we could get an idea of how we will look, and obviously when you're leaving the hotel lobby, what that's going to look like too. But once we have, like, it's the same concept when you're building out anything, right? You have the 3 elements. You have your primaries. So in this case, it's our buildings. What are our buildings going to look like? Cool. All right, we have that set up. Great. Then it's the secondary elements. Where secondary elements would be like the smaller stuff, like filter of buildings here, which that would also be like roads and whatnot, like certain pathways. And the tertiary stuff is just like smaller details. So like details on top of the roof, like AC units, people, the lights, flickering lights, hotel room lights, stuff like that. Excuse me. Okay. So let's see how this looks just right now. All right. Okay. So we have that. Yeah, look, see, we're getting somewhere so far. We have the big old building. Obviously, there's some stuff still missing here, but we have like that highlight over there, or whatever that's gonna be. Again, like the little eyeball thing. We have the big old city. It's facing us. We have some other stuff in the background. So I wonder if I could. Immersive mode. Is that the one I'm thinking of? And no, not really. It's like if you're trying to test out first-person stuff. Cinematic Pro wouldn't be bad, but that's not game. Okay, Focus port. Alright. Cool. So, first off, we need some sort of filler here. We kind of have this here. We could honestly pretty much use. Oh my god, I keep on trying to drag select. So let's just do this. Let's bring this in. Let's give this around. How much I rotate it by? There it goes, 90. So let's do this. And we could even get another, maybe this one, sure. Bring it back here. Gonna rotate it. Bring this back. And again, obviously this like whole like landscape here is going to be completely replaced. Actually, in our case, I don't think we'll be using landscape because it's a city. So cities, and again, though there's like potholes and stuff in cities. Cities are typically like a flat surface. Terrain is good for that, but we're not really going to be having mountains and hills in here, so we won't really need a landscape. So what we'll probably end up doing is just some meshes, like they're not static meshes, but we'll procedurally generate like. We'll use splines to use road meshes. So a spline is basically like a point. Like imagine 2 points, right? So each point is going to resemble like it could be a mesh, and there's lines between that give you the flexibility to make add curves, add ramps, downhills, whatever. I'll show you guys that in a little bit too. But which also keep in mind that we're going to need a floor, which actually. We have this. So if we were to go down, right, and put it, let's say, down here, will it let me? No, it won't. Okay, because this is from that poly extension. So if I go maybe to modeling,
this is why I switched to Shopify. I tried
Brother.
3 other platforms prior to Shopify, and I remember my breaking point was when I would try to make one little change and my entire site would go down. What are you?
And this is a
waiting for?
24/7
Start your
stream.
free trial with Shopify.
I don't want the fucking ads. Scumbag. Alright, so first off, let's save. There we go. So we don't lose anything. Poly edit. Where is the extrude? I know there's an extrude option. Poly cut? No. Not lattice. It's not here either. I think it might be just when I create the shape is when I could do it. It's a shame. Oh wait, draw robot, no. Yeah, like see, this one is technically it, but I have to create the mesh again. Oh, wait, actually, I guess I technically could. Let me rotate this. I could just recreate this. And then what I'll do is I'll do oh, not here. Go top down. Can I scale this? Is it fitting it? Ah, it is. Okay. So let's go back top then. Top. And then we'll just... I like the fact that it's like angled for me. Alright, it's fine. Let's go here. Boop. Boop. It's okay in this case if it's a little more. Because we could always just block that out with some other stuff. Say a little more as in just a little bigger. There we go. A little crooked, but it's all good. Now if we... Okay, that's low. Let's just extrude a little bit. Cannot set path width to 0. Alright, I need to switch back to perspective to see. There we go. Oh. This is not the one I meant to do. That was not the one I meant to do. What I meant to do was this one. God damn it. If that's the case, now I can at least just rotate this. Just go back to selection. Just gonna rotate this so it's just like that, like even. Alright, modeling. Let's do this one. Oh, I gotta move it first. No, stop it. No, shift to perspective. Perspective. Alright, modeling. Model extension. And let's go top perspective. Alright. Just real rough. This little rough draft. It's all good. That's a little crooked, but it's all good. There we go. And now we're gonna switch to. Did I not connect? Yeah, there we go. Connect to bastard. Let's go perspective. There we go. Now what we could do, just bring this all the way up. And then obviously I gotta rotate and everything still, but let's have that. So now, I'm gonna switch to top down. Actually, no, we might not need to. So it needs to be rotated this way. Something like that, I think. Oh, it's still not. Then I just need to lower everything here. This. Select that already? Oh, it's one. Crap. Guess I can just. Is that too much? Let's see. It's a little too much, but very little. Let's just gonna put the transform. Set moves it off so here, and then we could just. There we go. So this is good. Again, this is gonna be some whatever we want to do. The only area that is there an area that's concerning? No, yeah, everything's covered off. Cool. At least now what that means So when we start it, we have our flooring to walk on, we have our view, and if the player looks down, they'll see that there's an actual building here. That's what we're trying to aim for. Something like that. And here probably have like some sort of like just Times Square-ish looking thing, like area. So what I'll do, just gonna drag off of this, go back to this. Like gonna be something around here. And I'm just gonna make this area flat, just so I know it's not actually a building. It's kind of hard to get this now. Oh, there we go. And then we'll just bring this out, move it to the right, go back to Shift C or Shift 7, and then bring this up. There. We can even block out the roads now if we wanted to, but we're not going to worry about that. The roads we kind of can already get an idea, so let's look at. Let's go to a top-down view. So you can already imagine. You know what? Actually, I don't like that there. Let's just get rid of it. We could. Let me get a snipping tool so we can kind of get an idea. So we'll see that. All right, this is our building, right? So it's gonna be there. It's actually supposed to be a full square, but I figured just add in that space. So most likely a road is gonna be something like this. Something this way, right? There's that. You have the other option when it's the other side, and that's just gonna go through here. Maybe something like this, around, or like back way here, goes that way, goes here, like something like that. And then through the middle, I mean, it's gonna just pretty branch out a lot. It's gonna go that way. It's gonna go this way. We could obviously have to fix the spacing and everything. Something like this. Something to keep in mind too. We're gonna need a parking garage, so we gotta make sure one. Oh, not that. One of these has to be a parking garage for like this auditorium thing, just stuff to keep in mind. But realistically, it's going to be like roads down this way. You're going to branch out around, stuff like that. Then once we actually add, in the roads, fix the buildings so the roads are realistic, right? And we're going to add in like an atmospheric fog. There actually might be one in here already. Let's see if there is. And these, I think, are all the cities, right? Oh, besides this, probably the last one. Yeah. So these are all the buildings, including this one. So we're actually going to put that into a new folder. Let's go move to create a folder, and this will be buildings. Oh, building. Dinged. Build. God damn it. Buildings. All right. What I need to figure out is I need to add a window here. Data layers, there it is. We can just put that. Actually, I'll put it up here. So a thing with having the semi-open world, open world, whatever, is if you guys remember when I was talking about like the whole level streaming or the what's it called, world composition, like it was in Unreal Engine 4. So basically in there before, what you would do is you'd have everything set on like tiles, and then you basically would just calculate, all right, X range, this is gonna disappear, right? But for some bigger worlds, like something like this, right, especially if you want the player to be able to go into these types of buildings, we do want to, like, we don't want everything loaded in, right? Like we don't want the player to be here, like spawning in, and if let's say 90% of these buildings are something that's explorable or story-wise or whatever, we don't want all the furniture, all the assets within all the enemies to load in. So that's when you use data layers. So basically a data layer will be, so I'll show you guys an example. There's obviously nothing in here right now because it's empty, but you create a new data layer, and let's just name this, where's rename? Is there no rename? No? Alright, whatever, that's fine. So basically what you would do, yeah, alright, I don't know. So you'll click on certain buildings here. Let's say, again, this will be more like for talking about the furniture, but let's say there's certain buildings from where the player's at. Let me just see, like back here, we don't want the player to see from the get-go. So basically get these. We'll click on, click on the data layer, and then we would, Where is it? No, where's the... No, that's not it. No. Alright, hold on. First off, let me rename this because I don't know why it's here. And this will be... What's going on? Rename. That is interesting. Okay. So I don't know why that's not working. Unless maybe it's because I don't have... Let's focus world settings. Let me look at the settings real quick. Oh, enable streaming is on. Okay, I just want to make sure it was there. Preview grids. Okay, that's working too. Yeah, everything's set up correctly. So why isn't it showing? Let me go. What's wrong with it? Does not have data layer asset. Yeah, I know that. All right, this I gotta turn that back off though, because it's making the screen out ugly. It's supposed to be this, and then I click here, and then it's supposed to be able to give me the option. Oh, god damn it, bro! I clicked outside of it. Let's see. So here and here. Okay. Oh, there it goes. So I guess, sorry, I had to click the layer and then the item. So then it says add selected actors to select the data layers. Cool. So now if I hide this, I think it's because of the naming. It's not, I guess maybe I have some sort of collapse all data layers. No, that's one. Make all data layers visible. Yep. It's weird, that's not letting me change the name. Is she visible and is she loaded? I just have to figure out why that's not working. Maybe I'm missing a setting in oh, you know what it may be? Hold on. It's something you're supposed to turn on. It's supposed to be here. Let's just look at all settings. And let's go to world. No, that's not it. It is a check off. Support no, record setting. No, it's not that. No, it's not it either. It's not that. World settings, okay. Huh. Interesting. Alright. I don't worry about that then. Well, normally what you would do is you would basically have, so if you wanted to say to have all furniture in the whole world in this layer, right? So basically what you do is you add in, like kind of how I was doing it. I guess maybe I'm missing something to be turned on in the settings. I don't remember what it is because I haven't personally used data layers yet myself. I know what they are and how they work because it's similar to what level streaming was. Which basically is just choosing when to hide out something, what to hide out, whether it's a group of enemies, a group of furniture, a group of buildings, whatever the case is. Let me save that. And basically you just do that. So you'll have your layer selected, you'll click on your item, and then basically you would just, oh, not here, sorry, you would add it here. Add select your adders to data, select data layers, and then basically when you would hide this, it would disappear that. Like it would vanish in a sense. So like we would have it handled in code that from here, when they spawn in, we want all furniture in all the buildings or all assets within the buildings to be hidden. So all we want to see is basically just these meshes, right? Which won't really be too costly on your processor, on your on the actual, like, you know, the FPS as well, because if you have everything, if 90%, again, all 90% of these buildings were something the player to go in and actually explore, and if we were load in 9% of all the assets within a world, you would be chugging at your machine, which is also expensive, because normally, like, let's say if you wanted to have this finished product for Steam, there's certain budget limits that you have to meet in a sense before you can publish it. Okay. So, let me check my phone real quick. Call me. from my mom calling. Okay, that's fine. So now let's see kind of how it looks. I'm not going to worry about the roads right now. We might actually have some road meshes from the start of the content. I'll check that out now. So see, this is kind of how we want to have it look. Honestly, I'll probably even get away with making it a little bigger. And a big thing that'll make like some slight difference. Again, this is more like the nitty-gritty details. It's just adding slight variance here, right? So something like that. Maybe making this one. Oh. Nope. Hello? There we go. Making these slightly a little bigger so they're different. Oh my god. Go. Make that smaller there. What we just don't want is our main dominant, which is this big building, to be outshined by anything else. Besides it, like this, like our main dominants here are going to be these two. Maybe something here too, so we have like the rule of threes. So there's three things that are catching our eye, but they're not overpowering each other. This is the biggest thing. But realistically, it's just going to be this one and then this one. You know, we could even potentially do. We could even, no, you know, kind of like where that's at, like placement wise. But I was thinking, again, we actually added like on top of a roof in the distance, like somewhere over here, and then we could just keep that as like a little like smaller area in a sense. But we'll leave like that as is. I am still gonna keep this for now. I should probably just make this cube. The thing is, the player's not gonna see any of this here because we're also gonna block out all this stuff too. And again, this is supposed to be a room. This is supposed to be a roof. So things are going to be hidden from the player. Okay. Oh my god, it's cold. Alright. So, what else are we missing? I guess we can make the world just a little more filled up. Let's get these three things. I think I was actually going to use this for something. I think it'll just be filled over here. 90. I'm gonna bring that this way. That. Bring this across. Rotate. This. Then we won't keep it exactly aligned, but there we go. And honestly, we might even just, again, it's just to add the variance. We just swap these two positions. Okay, boop. There, now it looks like it's brand new, something different. When realistically, it's not. Let me see if the starter content that comes with the project has props, maybe. No, no, not maps. Blueprints, maybe. No. It doesn't, because normally the so there are like base projects that Unreal gives you. You could just start as a template. Like, you know, if you wanted to, you could create your own first-person perspective. You know, the gun, the everything. But they also have a first-person shooter template, which already comes with the gun with it. Oh Jesus, be able to shoot, so you have something to work with, right? And all you gotta do is just replace it with whatever you want to do. Oh God, what a good stretch. Woo. What the hell was I saying? Oh yeah, so you use that as a template. So they have one that's like a racing one in a sense, and it gives you that road mesh. And it was like your typical like the what's that called, the F1 racing, where it's like the red and like I think red and white like strips, borders, and then the main road. So we basically just add that in here with some splines. But to kind of just to get an idea so far, I'm actually gonna add something here. And it's honestly maybe just like the size of our city, which means that this world, because look, right, everything our world is this basically. Like, it does not take up that much. Now we still want to have like outer borders because we need to add in like the atmosphere and everything, because we don't want it to be like come across as an island in a sense. You know, it's funny, we could actually do, I don't need to show actors anymore. Show so court. No, we don't need to worry about that. Alright, so if we were to go here, enable streaming is fine. I just want to make sure all the settings are good. Light mass, pre-compute visibility. All right. We have no game mode right now besides the base one, so we're not gonna worry about that either. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So now, since we have like kind of base buildings, we could actually just fully set up everything. But what I do want to do first, so I want to go here. Let's get. I just want to make sure everything. And these, so these streaming proxies are actually the segments here. So everything here has its own coordinate. As you can see, there's a lot of them. So we really wouldn't, in the end, need like the outer 3 borders. I feel probably even the outer 4. It's probably just even be like a 3x3, maybe, or even like a 2x3, something like that. I feel like that should be plenty big enough. And we won't have, again, we're not gonna have any mountains or anything like that. It's gonna be a full-blown city. But I wanted to do, so let me first minimize this proxy. This is normal stuff, extrude. This can go into the, put that into the buildings. What's this? Oh, also buildings. Okay. So I want to select all. Actually, I want to select all of these. No, all of. What's? Oh, this is the, yeah, okay. Actually, these two, like everything in here, and then all the buildings. Oh, I need the player star as well. I don't think I need anything else. Group actor should just come with. So now I just want to move this a little more back, because the thing is now we're cutting into the mountain range. Again, we're not gonna use it, but I don't want to cut into it. So you can see on the map here, our whole world as of now takes up not even like nowhere near fully to one whole cube. And we can see that if we zoom in, it's these two basically. I just want to move a little more to the center. Just somewhere like, I don't know, something like here. I'm not really going through any specific guideline, because we're going to be deleting all this stuff, so we're going to have to move it anyways, eventually. Okay. Minimize that. Minimize that. Okay. So now, and we can even have it like our island. Let's throw it out there. It won't necessarily be an island, but let's say we just put out like a bridge, like a long bridge around, like let's say here. So like from the distance you could see, especially the neon lights once we get to that, we'll go from here and it'll just be like and you see a massive bridge kind of all around the world in a sense. We'll be using splines for that. I'm not going to draw that out now, but what I will do is at least show that there is something there, maybe something over here too. So let's get this. I'm not going to use exactly how it is, but like that. Let's bring it down substantially. Not that much. Maybe something like this. Like this. A lot of this is just playing around with it, right? Just trying to get a feel for how things may look and work. And we'll bring this down. Don't know how much, because what I plan on doing is having pivot, center and selection. Do something like that. I can probably go lower. Yeah, I think it should go lower. Shift 7. And just make it an even shape. So let's bring it down. 2 more. There we go. And basically this is gonna be like the start of the metro railway. I don't know what word to use, but you know what I mean. There's something like that. And then again, we would use splines. So splines would be like we had one point starting here. And actually, I can show you guys what it'll look like. So this is where we're at right now. So it would look. Let me just zoom out. Snip tool again. So basically what it will look like. Okay, no, that's hideous. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. So basically, it would be like a spline point. So it would be something like here. Let me go back. Let me just do let me do red instead. Damn, I gotta get rid of this. Okay. So you have one point here. That'd be one start of the spline point, and then it will have its own like edge. That'd be another spline point here. Basically, what you could do is you could have a mesh or even a blueprint if you wanted to. Fill in either the edge, the middle part, which is what we would do because it'd be like a train track or road or whatever, and then you have the points, which could be like just like a block off. It could be nothing if you wanted to, but normally you'd have a block off or like a start mesh, so it like connects the tracks and everything, and you basically just repeat that. So it'd be another little thing here, another point, and maybe something like this, and then another point, and then it'll go like that, and basically just keep on going around. It's gonna go around the whole world, but just an example would be something like that. And then it will finish up here basically, and each little edge in between is going to be the mesh, the whatever mesh we're going to use. Finish my coffee. I'm actually going to go to the restroom real quick. Oh, so cold. Gross. All right, let me go to the restroom real quick. Be right back, and then we'll probably continue with just blocking out like the rest of this world. Just get a more feel for some things that we're missing, right? All right, give me 1 second.
Mic off. Mic on.
Ooh. Goddamn. Can't really do laundry effectively on days I stream. So I was making sure they weren't like fully dried. Just let them stay there for a little bit. Alrighty. Let's go. Oh, that's right. Let's go to perspective. Alright, so that's where that like little track would be. Probably in the meantime, we could put just something in here, just so we kind of know how it's going to be laid out. Let's put another cube in here. Nope, you don't want to? Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's just put it here. We'll drag this out, something like that. And I'm going to flatten it. Not too much. Probably won't make it like. Oh no. Oh, did I? Oh, that's why. There you go. Actually, first off, is this? It is. Oh, nope. No. Yeah, it's still floating off of this. There. Nope. Come on. Are these not the same size? Man. Alright. There we go. It's like the top part. Bring this down. We're just gonna make it like 1 cube long. Union break time. Damn right, baby. Viva la resistance. Alright. So now, how are we gonna make this look? So, we're just gonna drag this out. And probably around here. Let's just extrude it. Again, this is really, really rough. Splines are much easier to use, but splines don't really show it well unless, one, you're working with landscape, because spline landscapes immediately affect anything above it or below it, depending obviously on the settings you have set up. And we don't have a mesh really besides the cube. I don't want to do that, so I'm actually just gonna rough something out like this. Then I'll probably branch out. Oh wait, did I extrude it? Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I wanted to do that. Extrude again. I'll do something like that. Extrude this, and then we will actually extrude again. I'll rotate it just slightly. Should be able to rotate. Oh, and I gotta rotate. I gotta move this forward. Let's work this. Move this forward a little bit, so it gives kind of like an angle. And then we select this again, and then we'll extrude that one. Is that the right angle? Yeah, it should be fine. Sweep. Okay. And then we'll do the same thing. Now we're gonna bring it in a little bit. Wait. Actually, no, sorry, not that one. This one. Because now we wanted to go a little bit towards the left. So move that. Nope, nope. There we go. No nuts. There we go. Okay. Super rough. Not thinking about it too much. Brain is barely doing anything already. Let's do that. Alright. And then we'll keep it like from here. Probably extrude one more time. I'm gonna bring this out a little bit more, and from here extrude, and then pull this. Let's see how this looks. Extrude up to here. Yeah, maybe something like that. Or probably not as far back. Something like that here. This. We're going to drag it across. I need first off this stupid freaking pivot center selection. There we go. Oh, it's only moving one. It is only moving one. It's because it's. We'll rotate this. I think like that should be good. Bring it here. go. And then we'll just bring it to right here. And just bring it back a little bit. And there we go. So now we kind of have our railroad. Not going to add in, because normally you'd have obviously a bunch of supporting columns throughout it, but we're not going to do that right now. Let's kind of get a feel for how this looks. Alright, wow, look at that building. Wow, look at those buildings. Still got to change the camera a little bit. I got to move that building a little back. Maybe just move that one entirely over there. You know what, I could do it again. I do this, and then if you were to, so F8 makes you like unpossess the player. So it's like an exorcism kind of. There we go. And then from here, whatever you do in this world, because technically we're still playing, won't affect, like it won't stick. So like if I were to get the player, or if I were to make this, right, like select this, and I were to make this like super or like huge, right, or move it, whatever, and once I click end, oh yeah, obviously it's gonna throw back an error, but it's gonna revert back to whatever it was. So I feel like I probably won't, I don't think we're not gonna need this. So if I do this and I move this one just a little back, where's the kiss from there? Just a little back, and then maybe move this. Let's see, let's move this over here, just a little bit over, and we'll probably have a building there, obviously, because what I want to do is when they come out, they see the big old building, see other big buildings, and then boom, we have like that in our line of sight too, basically. And we'll probably, so like probably around here it'll be like the station, whatever. So it really pops out. And if let's say we don't like the way it looks, we could also just revert everything we just did, move these over back, and then actually just move these buildings out of the way, and then we'll have it on the other side. All right. So that seems pretty good. 1 second. So that's done. Alrighty. Let's save that. So now we don't need this. I'm just trying to minimize things we're using. So obviously still have save. We still have our penthouse, which is fine. We're probably still gonna keep it here. It just doesn't hurt to have this on a level, but technically our actual world's gonna be this. So what we would, let's say error log. Data layer does not have a data layer asset. Yeah, I know that. Just delete it then. There you go. Dumb. Alright, so like this is gonna be our actual starting world, and we're gonna load in and out of it pretty often. So like what would happen, you know, we're gonna do our thing, right? Blah blah blah. Okay, I'm gonna go out to see this, see that there, cool. And then once we're done, we're gonna go here. Oh, see, look, that's one thing we gotta work on. I'll fix that. Go here, and boom, you go down in the elevator, and then basically as it's going down in the elevator, it's really what it's gonna do is just gonna unload all this, and it's gonna load us into the lobby. Then from the lobby, you know, we'll do whatever we're gonna do. Again, we might actually still load in parts of our actual world in here, but very, very minimal. Probably just like go back to the world. Besides like excuse me, the flooring and whatnot, it'll probably just load in like this little section here. So like these buildings, like these corner buildings. And then the day later, once I figure out how to get them to work again, everything else will just hide it basically. And then once we finish in the hotel lobby and we go back, we're going to basically, once they exit here, It'll be the courtyard level, and at that point, we're probably gonna have to just load in the rest of the world. We'll have to see how that works out, basically. But what I could do now, so let's talk about that breakout. Let me pull up the stream GDD. All right, so courtyard or garage basement. So that's gonna be something here. So first off, I'm gonna need one of the subtractives. This speed is too high now. And then let's just drag this across. It out. Cool. Put that there. And then most likely what we could do, is that one whole wall? Yeah, it is. Right there. So maybe we can have this locked with a key that's in the front desk. Or somewhere, right? We'll have this key somewhere. And then let's just get this wall too. And this would be like that lower level entrance that some hotels have. There. Honestly, probably won't even need to be this big. So let me actually make that a little smaller. Move this out of the way. Let's bring it down to, so that's one, maybe half of this. Half is that actually. There. Get this, move it back. Okay. And then we'll basically have like all these, like not this specifically, but this. Right, I need another one. Like the exit of here will be handled by a trigger. Trigger, pretty self-explanatory. You're gonna walk into it, it's gonna do something, and that something could be whatever you like, really. It could trigger a cutscene, it could trigger death, it could trigger go into a whole new level. It just depends where it goes, really. But it triggers a lot of stuff, basically. So let's do that. Let's get this, and we'll put the exit, or like the trigger in a sense, somewhere like here. 90, not there, but split that, maybe that cube there, and that'll be into the wall. Cool. And then we're probably gonna add like another enemy in here because that just makes the most sense. So let's get, this game doesn't have any patrol points, because we'll give this guy patrol points. Okay. And we'll just basically put them right here, and then we'll get characters, NPC, get some patrol paths. Something like that. Maybe put, I don't know, something here. Thing is, we don't want to happen is we don't want the enemy just like waiting, like as they open the door and they unlock it, they just happen to walk right into the enemy. That would be kind of unfortunate. So I'm actually gonna move these, this one, move a little more back over here, this one too, not exactly where that one is, something like that, and then we'll move these two in as well. So no matter what, actually we can even do it like this. So let's rotate this. So now when a player opens a door, they have no problem, like they won't have to worry about getting caught in a sense. Let me hug that against the door. There we go. Like that. Also, maybe just put another one here. And maybe actually something that'd be pretty cool is, So we'll do this. Let's rotate it first. Rotate 90. And we'll rotate it 90 this way. And then it could actually crouch along here. Don't know what the crouch height would be. It's probably gonna be less than that. Maybe. I'm just gonna test it out right now. I don't care if anybody sees me. Yeah, that's fine. So if I crouch, oh, that's right. My head still pops through, but that's perfectly fine. Do that, and they could crouch over here. Maybe something like this. Something like that. Since we're here, I might as well just split that cube. And then we'll give it a gap. Something here. Add something here too. Something in the middle just in case. It is more also just like filler too, so put something like this here. Then bring another one across from it. Okay. Yeah, so they're basically gonna come in here, wait for a moment to come in through here, go maybe crouch here and hide. Wait for them to get across, maybe they'll go in here and hide, and just leave. We may even actually just make it a little more challenging for them, so they could obviously wait, which is perfectly fine, or they could go, put us like a little too close to the enemy's path. Same with this one. Just move it back a little bit, something like this. There, and then I gotta set up obviously his path points. Going to lock it here. I'm just gonna do return. Go here. There we go. And then we'll wait 3 seconds there. Maybe 2 seconds there. 3 seconds there. 2 seconds there. Cool. All right, and then you just leave through here, and then that's again another trigger. Once they basically open that door to go into the next section, which will be the garage basement. So I wonder, actually, now we're on that topic, let's see. Cyberpunk Garage. Which is... trying to get an idea of what... You know, it's like trying to... parking garage. See how that looks. Is this... No, that's not parking garage. Could be something like this, but we'll have probably not as well. We'll have cars, obviously, probably not as many, but those will probably be actually sorry, take that back. We'll probably still keep cars on there, and we'll use those as our like place to hide, right? So they can have a car right in the middle, and they can just go around it and waiting for one of the enemies to stop doing what they're doing. And it could also be like supporting pillars that we'll have. So this is actually a nice little good reference that we could have. What's this? This is not. That's not. No. I mean, it's not a bad idea, but no, not really. Okay. No. 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 It's it's not bad. Yeah, it's actually gonna be a bad idea too. It'll probably be like a mix of between that one and this one, and just like picking elements and going from there. Text me. Oh, my stocks went up. Wow, so good. All right. So we have this. That's good. I'm just trying to remember if there's anything else I need to add. I do need to add a doorway here. Oh, I didn't. Man. Alt, drag. There we go. Put that. Just one more. Okay. And again, all these actual doorways are gonna be doors, like doors that we could basically push into. Besides like the locked ones, and we'll kind of keep that as a trend, because the big thing also with games is, and you might have seen them, right? So like, let's say an example, any game that does a lot of like vaulting, right? Like parkour stuff, you will basically have it set up where, like, if you've ever seen, what's a good example? Last of Us is actually a good one. It's not really necessarily like parkour, but climbing or traversing areas. There's usually like a universal color, yellow, on something. That means you can interact with it. For like Assassin's Creed instead, there's usually like certain like noteworthy like little assets that look like it. So if you see like a stack of 3 rocks, that means that you could jump, like do that big jump on top of it. Or if you see like a wall that, you know, obviously like you see 2 walls next to each other, one is climbable and one isn't, there's usually like a lot more like grooves and cracks on it basically. So that's kind of the thing too. So what we'd want to probably have is, all right, doors that you can just go through without any issues. They're unlocked, you know they're going to be unlocked, or like the push doors. Doors that are going to be locked, that have like, let's say a handle on it, for example, then we know that those we're going to need a key for it, or maybe a key card or whatever. Oh man, my eyes are so dry. Jeez. I was on the computer late last night too, just finishing up and fixing all the AI garbage. Adding in the little noise throw too, like just random stuff. I will definitely say that this is like this first series of streams and like making this game. It's fun. It's been really good, but it's definitely been a learning lesson on how I should do my streams and videos moving forward, which is going to be pretty good. I'm excited for that. I'm excited just to like not even have to worry about mechanics, and all we're doing is just building out the content. You know, like fighting the bots, or maybe if we do like a multiplayer style game, you know, something like that. I don't know how tall I need to make this, so let me do that now real quick. I'm just now making like some little final touches to this. I think it's gonna be. Let me see. Oh, it's a little too small. So let's bring this up probably half. So like, let's just bring it up completely, and then that'd be 3. Actually, let's see how that looks. Actually, not. Yeah, it's not bad. So I'll make all of them basically 3. 3 units high. Okay, that's done. This one's just shy of 3. Now the thing is, this is actually like the bathroom area, which again we were going to talk about like fixing it because I think it was too small or narrow or whatever. Let's see how it looks. Oh, well, we need doorways first, huh? Actually, you know what? I think I just never moved the subtractive stuff. Let me see. Yeah, see? There they are. Which ones were they? Oh, not you. That's 1. There we go. So it's these 2. So I had to just move these into the wall. Should be lined up already. Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are way too small for bathrooms. Yeah, dude. No poo-poo, just pee-pee. Nah, we won't. We'll change that now. Let's just make sure it's all. Oh, that's right. I was gonna check and see if it did feel like it was high enough. You know, I think 3 in the bathrooms at least. It could work. It could work. Okay. Go ahead, next one, I ain't gonna bother. I'm just gonna delete this. And then we could just use this like after we space it out a little bit. It won't be too much bigger, but like maybe something like that. Let's see how that feels. Yeah, I think that's a little more manageable. There we go. Alright. Shift 7. It will be this one. Done moving. Should bring it across. Right. Alright, and then we're just gonna get this and then get it across. And it was like what, 1.5 separation. There we go. 1.5. There we go. Cool. So there's the ladies and men's or gender neutral, whatever you want to do. There we go. But there's gonna be 2 because every hotel is gonna have 2 bathrooms. Okay. All right. So we were actually doing this. I would get rid of this because what we're gonna do is just drag this over. Some copies. Drag that out. Is that lined up right? Go and same here. There we go. Yeah, that's good. We gotta fix it, we'll fix it. Okay, so we got those. These rooms obviously aren't gonna be this high either, so that is something we have to fix. So we could probably do. Only one that's probably gonna actually be that high will probably be the restaurant and the bar. Well, this one we can actually lower down right now to 3. Actually, no, it's fine. I'll just keep it here. Let's lower that down to 3. Best I got is 350. Okay. It's a little off because of the mesh. So it's technically what, 3.5. Just bring it down like that much. Up here. Bring that down. Is that right? Yeah, cool. Alright. I feel like this is a little too close to this door. It's just slightly, so I'm actually going to. Oh. What are you doing? So subtractive. You. That was weird. Bring this over a little bit. This one's on the further right. This one's on the furthest left. So I figured I put down in the middle. That makes more sense. Not going to put again any roofs on this now because I still want to have like the light on it. Because once I put a roof on it, it's going to be like completely dark because there's no light source in it. So obviously with adding on like the neon lights, that should bring a little bit more brightness. Yeah, excuse me. And adding on just like point lights, like spotlights, because there's a bunch of different light versions. So directional light is just a light that you just could rotate it and put it on a certain area, which is actually the light that's in here. Spotlight. Spotlight. It's kind of no-brainer. Point light is more like a like just a light source like this, like that, and it just radiates heat off it. Skylight, also same thing here. So see, like in here, so you see it's kind of dark. If I put in a point light, it brings in light. If I bring in a spotlight, it's more like for lamps and stuff, like overhead or like street lights. You see, like one just like gives off a glow, and the other one points down to a glow. And normally you add this stuff to like actual lights in a sense. Okay, that's done. Just in case, like you never know what could happen with players. Let's add something over here. I think it's too close to the wall. Yeah, add something right there. You don't know what could happen. They're gonna be running around and just like, oh, they got panic and they need to hide or something. So, all right, that's gonna be the exit door. Okay. Man, I am groggy today. Jeez. Alright, so that's done. We got that here. Courtyard. Again, really nothing's gonna be playing out here, or nothing's gonna be like happening actually here until they like actually exit the area. And then once they exit, they'll it'll like just play sort of cutscene or do like a transition and then take them out to the courtyard. And basically the level would start from like here and forward. So like basically it'll be like a whole playable section, like probably somewhere here. Alright, so I think this one is pretty much done. So what we do want to probably do is start making some of the collectibles. So, could make it as a blueprint, could make it as a static mesh, and we could just convert a static mesh into a blueprint. So a static mesh is just like this, basically. It's just a mesh that has or doesn't have collision. Normally, obviously, you had collision to it. Because if not, they just go right through it. But a static mesh is an object, like something like if you're looking in a world, like some people do like making static meshes into blueprints by default. Because when you do that, it's just easier to like load it in, and then if you want to add a functionality to it, you could. But we're just gonna do a static mesh, and then if we just like if I decided to just make it a blueprint for when they get collected, then that'd be just fine. So let's do. I'm not gonna go here because there's just a lot going on in this one. I'm gonna go to. And let's go to the penthouse. There. Not really much in the scene, so there won't really be any distractions or whatnot while like AIs or some shit is rolling around. So let's go to the GDD, and the things that we're gonna collect here were. Hold on. Oh, it was the LDD that we had that stuff when we had that. I think it was the battery, the screen, if I'm not mistaken, and then charger maybe, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. So, cell phone. Yeah, charger, battery, and screen. So, those are all pretty simple stuff. Actually, we probably won't even need much of anything. I'm not going to do geometry. Actually, I will do geometry. Because then I can just convert this into a mesh. Did I do geometry? Alright, so we're going to bring this way down. I'm actually going to drag in a character. So, the actual character. Just so we get scale right, because the last thing we want is like to start making a cell phone and it's like this size. So we like to have usually the comparison next to it. Again, this part really not supposed to be doing. It's all done by like I could create placeholders, which is basically what we're gonna be doing. Usually it's done by like your like an art team, right? So I'm just gonna bring that way down. And honestly, you may just make like 3 of the exact same type. I think it's still a little too big. Okay, I think that's good. Okay. Alright, let's get this stupid freaking pivot, man. Center. Alright. Let's see how this looks in comparison to the size of the player. Let's see. Pretty big. That's a big old phone. Do that. And it'll bring it one more in there. I think that's good. Yeah, shit. So we got charger. That could also be the battery. We're just gonna keep this actually as our collectible. So let's, and then we'll add like a little like particle effect to it so it shines, so the player knows that, oh, okay, that's something important. And we still gotta add, actually, let me add that now too to the stream. Where is it? Meshes, clickable keys, collect / interaction on items. There, just gonna get an idea what we're needing there. So basically what we're gonna do is we go down here. There's a section. Where are you? It may be that actually, but hold on. Advanced. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we gotta select all adjacent surfaces. Was it there? Create static mesh, and then let's go to lower prototyping meshes. And this would be naming conventions, usually always done before. Some people do it after, but usually you want to do like SM for static mesh, and then we'll do collectible. Mesh. Cool. So now if we go to that folder, let's clear out the character. Meshes, collectible. See, nothing crazy about it. It's just a cube. That's pretty much it. But what we do want to do is static meshes when you create them. By default, they usually don't have collision on them, which means that if we just, I should show you right now, if we walk into this, oh, it actually does have collision. Let's move this out of the way. Yeah, see, no collision. So it's just inside of me right now. Oh, yeah. All right, so what I do is, normally just gonna do add box simplified collision, but if we were to change this, no, not this, show simple collision and complex collision. So that's complex collision. Basically, simple collision is just gonna be simplified to just shapes. So like in our case, it'd be perfect because we have a box. Like, and so if you just add a box simplified collision, boom, it automatically calculates it to be the shape or the size of this object. And that's perfectly fine. That's what we're gonna need. But let's say if we have like, for example, a character though, like right now, like see they have a capsule like that. Let me click on the character. So they have a capsule component. That's their collision component. But sometimes you don't need this invisible barrier that's like 3 inches off of you, or I think it's more like probably 7 inches off you. You're gonna need something that's like that forms to the actual shape of the mesh, and that's when you use a complex collision. Complex collision is not always, but depending on the object, is going to be it's going to be costly. I mean, just as an example here, if we were to show complex collision, we went from having just basically like what, I think it was 16 edges, and then just the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces, to now having 12 faces, and then I think like 22 edges. And that's just one thing. Imagine like if you recreated Optimus Prime, right? If you recreated him, sure, you could just put a simple capsule collision or a box collision, that should be great, but again, it's not going to be like forming to like the sides and everything. So if you use complex collision on him, yeah, it'd be pretty taxing. I wonder if there's an example I can kind of show it a little better. Yeah, not that. Any starter content stuff? Let's see, maps, prompts. Oh, like a statue. Let's see if this has. Alright, so this is just a glass statue. So let's see. Simple collision. See, it's just a cylinder with some edges. But if we were to take that off and put complex collision, look at that. Look at the difference. And you can see here in the top left, it shows you the breakdown. So right now with the complex collision, which is also automated auto convex collision, it just created a complex one on it. It shows it has 4,024 triangles, 2,400 vertices basically. But if we were to switch it to a simple collision, oh, it's not updating. I think it's still showing the default. Let me see if maybe. I guess it's just showing what the default of it is with the complex collision in a sense. Where's no? I don't know. Create balance and collision. But you could see the difference. I mean, here, like you could probably, if you really wanted to count all the edges and the shapes. I wonder if it'll say. No, it doesn't say it here. Whereas if you were to go to complex collision, you can't count this. It's impossible. Got all the grooves on there. So it creates more details and more accuracy, but it also costs more. Alright, so we don't need to see the complex collision anymore. So you can keep it simple. Save that. Alright, and then that's going to be our collectible. So we don't need this anymore because it's just a object. So now whenever we're going to create a collectible, we're basically going to we're going to communicate to this collectible, and then when the player runs into it, which again probably be done with the trigger or just colliding with it, it's going to be stored in a inventory. Not really an inventory system because we're not doing that because that is a pain in the ass, but it'll at least store on the back end like that data. So if I'm going to a door, oh shit, if I'm going to a door and I am wanting to unlock it, it still has to save the memory of the collectible, and it will. So you go like, all right, key number 26 is going to open door number 10. So you go any other key up to it, it won't work. All right, so everything here besides like the smaller stuff is already done. So obviously that's the doors. This is like, I already know what it was. Again, it was a dance floor maybe or some shit. We are missing this over here, but we don't really know what we're gonna do with that yet. And obviously we're just missing the beds, which I'm not gonna do that because we know what the bed is and we know what we're gonna do. But we are gonna lay out just the areas where these collectibles will be. So there's gonna be one here. Why is it? Oh, you know what it was? I forgot to reset its pivot. So now its pivot is all janky, which is unfortunate. Let me see if can I reset it? Reset pivot offset? No, it won't. It's already been created, so it's going based off its default. So that's one thing to keep in mind. You ever create a static mesh, make sure you reset its pivot, because if you don't, it will be like this. And it's just irritating, basically. There, that's fine. So we'll have them there. The other one was over here. Just put it there. Okay, and the last one. There's another one here too. And just so we could track it. It's probably gonna be replaced with the BPs. But once we create the blueprint, it'll be really easy for us to replace it because we already have the location where the collectibles are. We basically just do this. So we'd right click on this and you replace selected actors with blah, whatever. So basically we just drag in a blueprint on there, delete that blueprint, and then we'll do that, replace the actors and replace all all these collectibles are with the actor itself, the new blueprint that we create basically. Okay, that's there, and then we have one here. Save this level. Don't need this anymore. Let's go to maps. And let's go to the lobby. Okay. Oh, I need to. This one's map is all janky, so I'm just gonna have it on the other screen. Which was this one? Yeah.
So we had one in one of the bathrooms, the furthest one. Well, you know what? These actually are kind of close. So I'm gonna actually move these. Let me get the additives first. And then we get these. Why does it do that? If we're not moving anything else. No, okay. Yeah. Let's move this like a little. Something like that. It's pretty good. Okay, and then now again. Once I create the blueprint, I'll add in the particle effect and everything. But for right now, we don't have to worry about that. So let's go back to meshes. There's some collectible. This one was in the corner. So something like that. I've been noticing this building navigation thing that's going off right now. That is going off because with the nav mesh, so I'm gonna turn that on. The nav mesh, every time you move or add something new, an element to it, it's rebuilding the path so that the AI knows, all right, that's something new. I can't go near that. I can't touch it. Whatever. All right, so we had one there. We had, and again, these collectibles aren't necessarily like story progression. Could be just like journal entries or audio logs or just whatever we want it to be, basically. Let's move this one in a little bit. Oh no, too close. There's somewhere like here. Okay, and there's the other one that was across in the restaurant. Whoop. Here now. Probably gonna end up putting this. It'd be nice to put it in the kitchen, but I had to create a open for that, so I'm just gonna put it here for now. We can always switch it up later. We have another collectible over here. Something like that. And normally this shouldn't be affecting the mesh. It's just doing that because it's a static mesh. But once we, again, like replace all these actors with the blueprints, then we're golden. It won't do that anymore. And the last one was over here. And it was here. It's technically on a table, but we won't do that. We'll probably put it actually on this far left corner, like on top of this table. So this angle. Put it there, and add a random rotation just so it adds variance to it. Alright, let's respect the gizmo. Cool, so that's where the interaction is going to be there. Then we can finally build out now is this area. So I'm actually going to do, grab one of these, duplicate it. It's a little thinner, so I'm going to first bring this in maybe like halfway. And then I'm actually going to select the bottom face. Can I do that? Let me lift it up a little bit. Bottom face. Shift 7. And then I'm actually going to bring this up halfway. Well, probably not halfway. Maybe like maybe up to there. Yeah, something like that. And then I'm going to extrude it down. And I'm extruding it down because I want to do another extrude here. Cool. There. So that's going to be like our, like this area. So basically instead of this, I'm going to bring this in. Oh, I don't need to edit anymore. Bring that down, rotate it. And then I don't need this. Now we'll replace that. Actually, let me bring that back in just so I get my reference. Bring this over here. Rotate that. What's the rotation on this right now? 180. I guess I'll wait for the other side. So let's do 360. There. I actually might be a little too long.
Actually, this back part might be a little too low now. So let's fix that. Make this a little higher. Same with this. I'm just gonna extrude it so it doesn't move too much. There. And then actually we'll go back to edit and then we're gonna click this face and no. Come on. There we go, that face and this face. And just bring it in a little bit. Like that should be good. Alright. Basically we're gonna have like that. We're gonna get this. We're gonna flip 180. Something like this. Honestly, probably put like 2 side by side. Oof. Itchy, itchy. Ah. This is a little crooked, right? There you go. That's actually straight. Actually, I'm gonna have to rotate it anyways. Do it like that. And I'm gonna duplicate this. And then what was the angle here? It was 335. So I think if I need that negative 25. No. Negative 15. There we go. Wait, what was this again? This negative 35. Basically just mirroring or making the angle opposite, or yeah, opposite of this one. So it just looks like a nice little mirror on there. Are they even? Yeah, they're pretty close. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna get rid of this one. I'm gonna get these two. Let's put it on the local. And this one I'll rotate. Nope. Rotate 180 degrees. And then drag it to its spot. So I gotta be careful because I don't want this to mess with the alright, first let me turn this off because it's 20 minutes. There you go. So I'm gonna get this, split that, and then I'll use this one, split that. It should be there. And we'll probably end up having to do is just move this. Nope, move these guys, and this a little bit to the left. There, because if not, what would happen? See, this guy's actually already off the thing. Let's put him here. There. Drop this, and then what we will do. So we have it set up that we don't need this anymore. So just for everything to be all good and basically done in this, you get these two corners to split the middle of the pillar. That's what I'm trying to go base. That should be good. There. Let's make sure the player could actually walk through it. I don't care if they chase me. I just want to make sure that I can fit, right? Okay, cool. The crouch in here. It should be hiding behind all this stuff. There you go. Cool. Sweet. Still needs balancing, obviously, but should be good. Mike Check said, I'm seeing more and more why it takes forever to make a game. You have to perfect unit. Yeah, 100%. So it's very, like, I'm doing this, or the reason I would be doing it like this is because it's going to make the life of, again, if we're talking about like in a studio, like a AAA company, it's going to make the life easier of either myself later on once we get like assets from the art team, or if I have an art team, right, or I have an artist going to go in here and actually make this pretty, right? It's going to make it easier for them to go in here and be like, oh, okay, cool, so the spacing is going to be here, right? I'm going to replace this asset. He wants to keep it like, you know, whatever, parallel to the column, stuff like that. It's easier for them to just go on here and put in their assets, and then obviously you're going to add in like the smaller elements and everything. But yeah, it's a whole process, and that's because, and that's not keeping in mind that we don't really have many mechanics. You know, we have movement, we have. Here's the fuck is. Oh, guys, give me a second.
Mic off. Mic on.
Jesus Christ, bro. So annoying. Calling me and asking for people it's not me. Just leave me alone. And yeah, that's because we normally don't have mechanics. Like there's a lot of like right now we need probably some sort of health system. We need an end game, a win game. We need attack animations, and dude, it's so much to really get the final product. I just realized this is not centered. I want this to be centered with the world. So something. Oh, I gotta get the perspective. Centered would be like right there. Yeah. Okay. There's a lot of moving parts. That's why like some indie companies like that have one game that like they hype up and take a long time to build because they're usually a small team, and for a small team to make all this stuff work, it's tough. I mean, currently still am, but I've been in a couple of indie products where things fall through the cracks because there's no designer, right? There's no one to do all the mechanics and all that stuff. So there's only one person that's doing it, and they are also one of the artists, you know, or one of the animators, whatever. And vice versa for any other field, basically. Okay, so it looks like right now we have like the full loop. So we have our loop from they start here, besides obviously collecting the stuff, and then like end game, like or losing, or getting caught. But we have the areas where they're gonna go collect something, and then go from bam, 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 and they have the option to go outside here or outside here. This level is technically done. Obviously, it's not, but it's getting there. We're gonna go to the world. So this one will look really nice once you have all the stuff set up. Okay, gonna need some more stuff over there, but you kind of get the idea, right? You will see the subway there, which would be nice little like or not background. Oh yeah, background view, like with the lights and the trains or whatever. Like Chick said, I'm assuming to have to combat having a big team, you just take more time. It could be done, just not as efficient, I would think. Yeah, this view so far is pretty good. It still needs a little bit more because obviously all this is viewable, so we're missing stuff over here, right? If we wanted to, definitely possible. We could just make it like a big old lake, and that should definitely cut stuff off. But really, Cyberpunk doesn't or Cyberpunk Worlds. It's all about like industrious, buildings, technology, machines, whatever, pretty much everywhere. But it doesn't hurt. We can just keep it it's like the old city that they kept, just like a Central Park, whatever type thing. As for combat, yeah, there's specific roles for a lot of things when it comes to engineers or design wise. So there are specifically, you have combat designers, so they'll bring in a person, maybe 2 or 3, to just handle solely combat. That's all they're doing. All they're doing every day coming in is working on the abilities, like fighting stuff. I wonder if I could, let me make sure everything is saved here. Okay, good. It didn't ask me to save, so that's good. I'll see if I can open up without it crashing my freaking computer the RPG that we had basically a programmer work on that. It unfortunately broke, I guess, in the transition of it moving from the school server to our server for us to look at. But it's the one I showed before. Let's see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't crash everything. But yeah, you have just people who do their quest designers. All they do is handle the quest system, and the quest system is the story progression, the interactions, what type of quest it is, the area it's going to go to, things along those lines. You have somebody who could handle just pure economy, so the money aspect. What's the currency, what's the rate of it, what could they buy, what could they sell,
Can they buy and sell to anybody, like how Skyrim is? You could pretty much talk to someone randomly in a city, and you could sell them something, but they'll have a fixed amount of gold, right? You know, you go to a merchant that might have 300 gold if they want to sell stuff. You might go to some guy who just sells meats, and it's only like they have like 10 gold or some shit, you know, so you can't go and just sell everything. So like as an example, is it Steam still running? All right, good. As an example, I'll see if I could find it here, but this was like combo systems, and it's like the player has combat, like the combos, right, that change. So let me load this. This is the one that just shows some of it. Oh, that's right, it's gonna log me up before it loads. All right. So like, I'm going to let me play it in selected viewport. Hopefully it's not too loud, so I apologize if it is. It always takes long the first time to load because it's just initially loading all the assets and everything like in the back end basically. Hopefully the stream doesn't crash. If it does, please let me know. Come on. I know you can do it. You know, I'm actually going to close out some of these tabs. There, maybe that helps. Wow. I guess I haven't opened this project in a while because it usually never takes this long. Man, I should have showed the... So in here, he also used what's called, I think I mentioned it before, it's called, funny enough, the gas. Like that's Unreal Gas, which is a game playability system, which is basically the function I use for, more specifically combat, but it's easier just to set cooldowns, you know, like the hotkeys, like the toolbars, like when you have like a little picture of an ability, let's say, you use it and it goes on a cooldown refresh. It's more streamlined and it's more made specifically for that. Wow, I don't think this thing's gonna load. Let me see if it's running on my task manager. Sorry if it... Oh, it ended, didn't it? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Okay, good. Still recording? Yeah. Trying to see if... that's right. Look, just this example is a big project, but let me show you... Look at it, its runtime. Like this, it's just in this editor, my CPU is at like max output because it hasn't been cleaned up. You know, I haven't cleaned up any of the texturing, the budget, because the budget on the texturing pool, which is like the pretty stuff basically, like on items and object, hasn't been cleaned up. So it's like 1.8 million above budget. So that's something I need to get fixed, but I haven't worried about that right now. Well, I don't think it's gonna load. Not gonna lie. Damn shame, I wanted to show it. Again, it's usually always the first time, but it never takes this long. Oh yeah, Mitch, yeah, above ground pipes, yeah, exactly. A lot of just crazy, like, it's weird because there's areas where it feels super, like, dense. But not like dense like as in like you're in a forest. It's just dense because there's so much around and so much like big things, like big, like you're saying, big pipes, big buildings. You know, just like everything's just huge. But you have other areas where you open, like go into like to say a courtyard or whatever, and it's open. Still huge buildings around, but not as cramped feeling, I guess. Dude, you gotta be kidding me right now, right? Wow. Okay, so that went away. I'm pretty sure it's just gonna crash. The stream's not lagging, which is good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to close it. Sorry, I might lose me again. Just open to my task manager. Okay, there we go. Come on, you. There we go. Come on, give one more shot. Looking around. I'm gonna have to close it. Fortunate. can't really show it. I guess I had to load it off stream and then bring it in once it's fully loaded in. I'll try one more time before I basically just end the stream because we're pretty much finished for the day. I'll give it one more time. Let's see. But I don't think it's gonna load. I truly don't think it's gonna load. This is fine. This shouldn't crash it. Let's load. Alright, let's give it another shot. Thanks for everybody tuning in, by the way. Any questions, comments, concerns? If you want to talk about the meaning of life, don't know how I can answer that, but I'll do my best. Excuse me. Alright. I think before I had it set as that viewport, so it kind of like was messing it up. But let's see if maybe hopefully now it loads up. So I kind of show you what like combo setup is. It's also still building navigation, which is the unfortunate part. Okay, get rid of that. There we go. Okay. Oh, just loading in. Oof, it is choppy. It's because it's loading the navigation. We just sleep. Go. So it's building navigation, which is the whole world, and then it's compiling the shaders. Shaders means like the textures. Oh man, hopefully it doesn't look too bad. No, it looks kind of shit though. But you'll see now, like, all right. So, oh, hold on. Before he detects me, I gotta make sure I am not gonna die instantly because he's level what, 18. There, it's just God mode. So now I can't die. You'll see like he'll attack me. We see how like it's combos. It changes every time. It's really hard to see. See? So that's kind of like one example of it. Dude, looks great. Yeah, it's just still needs a lot of polish. That's for sure. It's unfortunate the programmer that initially did it. I reached out to him before, like, hey, like I'll pay you to finish like cleaning this up. But he's obviously working his own stuff. But will you alone be able to create this in your own version? Well, this is technically like my project in a sense. It's my version of it. Will I be able to? Hell no, absolutely not. I already have issues with doing like simple AI. So like if I show you now his so this is the ability system. Like this is one of them, and each enemy has its own. But you'll see like the enemy, all of these are different attacks. And if I go into, let me see. Oh, I don't think I clicked on it. This might not be one of them. Like a complex one. Yeah, this one's pretty simple. Whoa, actually, let me see. No, this isn't it. So, this is the gas ability. Ah, here we go. So this is just one attack, and each enemy has at least 3, and then the boss AI, which is the one that I have over here. Got a little town over here. This is like the boss, him. He spawns enemies. He does like a pillar collapse. He I think he heals some shit like that too, if I'm mistaken. Let me see. Now that all the shaders are loaded, let's see if it can look a little better. Alright, it's nighttime. I want to make it daytime. Alright. So like here we have a little quest guy. Skeleton breeds minutes, turning out of time, we almost stop attacking me. Accept it.
This has like a skill, like equipment inventory system. It has a journal log for the quests. It has a skills. What was the other one? The skill tree. What was this? How does it get the M? Oh, a map as well. A full-blown map of everything. There's another one. Hold on, I forgot. T? No. R? I forgot which one it was for. Let's see. Tab? No. Caps lock. There was one for. Man, what the hell was it? Oh, there we go. K, which is like the skill tree. So if I wanted to. Oh, god damn it. Fucking ended it instead. So let me just. Oh, it rolled up. Some enemy off screen fell off the map basically. Yeah, there you go. You press K and you get skill points. It's kind of hard to see because it's in minimized view, but this one gives me more health. And when I unlock a full tree, I get the next one. And then now if I show you, just make it God mode, there, so I don't die. But since it's a little smoother now, you'll be able to see like the actual combos. There's a little ability there. You have a shield. See all that, like all that spinning abilities. Then you have like a fire blast. That goes on cooldown. And he does different attacks. Obviously, you're not gonna kill him because he's level 1. But there, that's an example. All that complexity, and then like if there's multiple enemies, like which one, you might like play a game where there's like 3 of them fighting you. Usually, not all 3 of them fight you at once, unless it's like smaller swarm enemies. But usually, there's one that its AI, its brain, is telling it to fight, and then the other ones are just basically waiting for an opening to attack as well. Which actually, if I could, let's pull up the enemy AI. See, it's like again, we had that one tree for the behavior trees, but then like look at these. This is like a whole bunch of other ones. It's the aggressive one. I mean, look at the size of this tree compared to one that we have. Our tree was just like 2 of these, realistically, but this one is like 15, I think. No, probably more, like 20, if I'm not mistaken. Just picturing all these aspects being worked on by teams with the steampunk. We able to do it. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that part I won't be able to do at all. I mean, sorry, I'll be able to do that. That shouldn't be a problem. What I do need is the textures. So I need like how this is like in here. The reason why we have trees and like all this, like these assets. So like it's like a little bit of a like what do you call those people? Archaeological team. They have. Like they're just basically spelunking here. So like this is my level, by the way. This is the one I made with like the level design and the interactions. So like here, it's like when you're in this world, you have like this like kind of like atmosphere element. So you have these guys picking at the rocks. You have another person here who gives you a quest. You know, you read it, whatever, and you accept it. Then you go on, you see, if you go to the journal, you click on this, and now it'll pop up there on the top right. But all this asset looks that I did, like this is me. Like all this, making this bridge, making the towns, like if I F8, making like this little area, these cliffs, this whole world in the back, that was mine. This I'm really proud of, because it's like a whole, like a ruined castle look. So you see it's like super cool looking, like knocked over trees, knocked over pillars. We got a boss over here. It's like a giant beast. And then if I go way down out of the map, so basically when you get here, or when you get to this entrance, it takes you down to a dungeon, which is down below the map. And then this is like that little dungeon look. So yeah, you have some enemies in here. That roaming, same roaming path that we did before. They're just roaming around. And then this is like the, again, just to continue with the dungeon. This is part of the my whole zone. Again, more stuff. There's a really big boss over here. Big old boy. You made the bridge and someone made it look pretty. No, I did that part as well. Everything in this world I did myself. This was part of my capstone for school. So like all this, I did. Everything. Again, this is like part of assets that we bring in. So like if you go to the art section here, I think it was like see the medieval props, all that stuff. It's asset packs, but we basically like import them, and then I start just creating them. That's why when you see in the other one I have those blocks, like just straight blocks, is so that in my head, if I'm doing the environment art, I know what to put there. Like I know that, all right, this block can be used specifically for a dresser, a column, whatever, a nuke, doesn't matter. I have that, and I just replace it with that asset, basically. You know, está fuera de liga. And then there's another one over here, which is also one I did. So I did this too. So it's like a little port, basically. The ships are supposed to move, but obviously it's not in engine, or not runtime. But just like a little dock I did. The music as well, you probably hear some shit. And then we also have, this is Redcrest, so this is like a big old town. So if I were to, oh, I'm still, that makes sense. So if I were, oh, I gotta load it in. So if I go here to Redcrest, the watchtower, the port's pretty cool looking. And I feel like walking around doing stuff. But if I go into, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm a little too fast there. Oh, okay. Go right here. Play it from here. It's just now compiling everything in this area. That's why it's taking a long. It's very likely that it crashes, because the streaming, level streaming on this one, it has been tweaked. Oh, I guess it's a little too high. Let me just go to sleep so it becomes daytime. This has a day-night cycle as well. So basically, it's a little dark right now. It's because there's a lot of things casting shadows. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's a little too dark, actually. It's processing a lot right now. I mean, there's people just chilling around. Animals walking around. Oh, brother, this thing is chugging. There we go. Nope. Yeah, like little areas too, like just that adds the atmosphere, basically. So you like have someone here, if it would load. See? Like people kind of having like a little town hall meeting, right? No audio on it because I haven't really gotten to that point yet. But just them like doing nonsense, basically. You have, I was compiling the shaders. One that I think is, oh, this guy's just T-posing. I didn't realize that. That's funny. Just have so much power, they just can't even walk normal. Oh, I'm going too fast. Hold on. So now, another cool part that I actually liked was... Oh, I went too far. It was where the soldiers were, which they were... over here. So you have, like, soldiers here. Training. And you got here, guys are stretching around. That's a guy who's like a merchant, basically. A lot of cool stuff. A lot of stuff that just adds like atmosphere to games, basically. Giant castle, you know, kind of staple. You got enemies patrolling in here. It's kind of dark in here because you're not loaded in here, but this is like the king's castle. Cool stuff. Alright, it's like running down my computer a lot though, so I'm gonna close it up. Don't need to save anything there. But yeah, so that's like one example, like closer to the end of building a game, right? Still missing stuff, still missing like textures for the enemies. There were animals in there, like creatures that you fight, like a phoenix and dragons and stuff, just in a different area. You know, obviously you saw like the big wolf. But yeah, that's where we could get at. We just need to get all the stuff to be able to do it, which we do have a lot of assets I already have set aside. So when we get to that point, it's easy just to import them.
But nonetheless, I'm gonna go ahead and call the stream there. Obviously, appreciate you guys tuning in. Follow me on YouTube. I did post one video yesterday already. I'm posting another one probably later tonight. Just gotta do some quick edits on it. But actually, what I'm gonna do, because I haven't done it yet, is I'm going to raid somebody. Now, how I do that, brother, I do not know. Nope, that's not it. Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all. Again, if you want to stay tuned, by all means. I'm trying to figure out how to rate somebody in here. I really have never done it before. How the fuck is that? On the app or stream dashboard? Which one's... Oh, here you go. On the app. So are you talking about like on Twitch or in here? Dashboard. It's a button on Twitch and it'll ask what stream. Okay. So I see. Okay, I got it. So let's see who to raid. You see it's right screen with the other button. Okay, I see. I think I got it. Trying to see. You know what? Because she tweets in the line. I'm just gonna go ahead and raid Jasmine. I don't know if she's still here or not, but I'll go raid her. Again, appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in. I might do actually a stream, not tomorrow, Sunday. Doing something a little different. I'm not going to mention anything now, but it's going to be good stuff. Building out kind of like a side thing while we do this one as well. Again, follow, like my videos. So follow me on Twitch. Follow me on YouTube, subscribe. And yeah, take care, y'all.